Hey everyone, and welcome back to another finished object video by me, the Reluctant Knitter. So I'm not knitting anything today. Today's crochet. And so I am going to make this Boucle Bunny. I completely forgot who it's by, but it's all in the video and I link everything down below. It is a free pattern on, I think it's Ami, on a blog. You can purchase the pattern as well. It's supposed to be made out of Boucle yarn, and I'll go through all of that, how I chose this yarn and everything, but this is what we're making today. Hey everyone. So I'm about to start a new project. It is for a friend of mine. She is having a baby in March. So it's January, beginning of January right now. So I have some time. They don't know what they're having, so they are waiting till the baby is born, which is so fun. So I believe I'm gonna make a jelly roll race quilt for her, but I'm also making stuffy. So I am making the Boucle Bunny by All About Ami, and the kicker is that the yarn, the recommended yarn, is discontinued. So I had to try to figure out like a good substitute for it. So the recommended yarn is a 5 weight, so it's a bulky, I believe bulky. So I kind of looked around. It's a boucle yarn, or I don't know if people say boucle or boucle. I've seen it with an accent, without an accent. So anyway, it's like a fuzzy yarn, and it's textured. So when you crochet it, you can't tell that it's crocheted. You don't see individual stitches. So I kind of looked around to try to find something. I found this Bernat baby blanket frosting line. So it is a little bit thicker. It's 6, so it's a super bulky. The recommended hook size is a 4.5 millimeter hook. So I think I was gonna go down a whole size, a whole millimeter, but I don't have a 3.5 millimeter. I actually probably do, but I don't have any in my clover. So I'm gonna try it with a 4 millimeter, and I'm gonna see how it looks. And it doesn't take very much yarn. So it took, I think, about 96 yards of, the 5 weight yarn. This is a big skein, so this is 220 yards. So even if it comes out bigger because of the heavier weight and I'm not going down enough of a hook size, I'll have plenty of yarn. So I picked the Sunday Times color. I kind of wanted something neutral. So she has a bear as well, a boucle bear, and a bunny. So the bear was made out of a tan color and the bunny was made out of pink color. So I decided to make the bunny, and so I wanted obviously a neutral color. Not that boys can't have pink or girls can't have blue, but that's what I chose. So it's kind of, I know Sunday Times is like newspaper, so I think it's supposed to be like a gray, but it doesn't it's brown. But that's okay. So that's what I picked, and I'm gonna get started on it and see how it goes. So I'm gonna try this again. The magic ring was pretty tight to kind of pull. I did also need a stitch marker. I knew that I would, but I just wanted to kind of mess around with it until, to see what was going on. So I'm gonna get a stitch marker. Actually, I really want to use a cute dangly one, but I think one of these light bulb stitch markers is probably easier just to clip on, and if I can find it. So I don't have a 5.5 either, 5.5 millimeter. Can you back up? Back, Fitzy, back, good boy. Back. Okay. So I don't have a 5.5 millimeter either, but I have a 6 millimeter. So I'm gonna use that. This is my, it is interchangeable, I guess. Quiet. Good, quiet. Sit. So, I got this at the Connecticut Sheep and Wool, and I got it from a young vendor. She makes the handles, I think, out of acrylic, and then she had all of these like interchangeable hooks, and she did not have an Instagram. She did not have a website. She only had an email, and so she gave me her card with her email on it, and I lost the card. I have no idea who she was. So if you guys don't know anybody who makes these, I would love to get more. The other thing is too, is I found at Rhinebeck somebody who had the same handles, but they didn't have hooks. They only had like seam rippers and stuff. So that didn't help me. Quiet. Thank you. So, and then this one has a detachable, it's a magnet. Back up, back. This had a detachable, like magnetic thing that it's like a necklace. So you can turn this hook around, and then you can put it on a necklace and you can carry it with you. So I took the necklace part off because it's kind of hard. So let's try this and see how that goes. Okay, so that worked a little bit better. It's looser, obviously looser. And it's still, like you can't see any stitches or anything like that. So I think I'm gonna proceed with this and see how that goes. Okay, everybody, so I am at the point where it's time to start stuffing the head. I had to wait a little bit because I have a bunch of safety eyes. So it is for a baby. I am gonna put safety eyes in there. I don't know, you can blast me down below if that was like the worst idea in the history of stuff. I know that it's not ideal, but is it like reckless? I don't know, probably. It's probably reckless. It's probably reckless, and they're probably not gonna give this baby this toy. This is their first baby, and they're already very conscientious people, so I'm sure that they will not leave the baby unattended with this thing. And in the card, I am gonna say that it is safety eyes, so please don't let the baby chew on it, or, I mean, don't let your baby chew on something. I understand it's probably really hard, but supervise your baby. I don't know. You can totally, like, totally rake me over the coals in the comments if you feel like it's necessary to do so. It's fine. I understand. So anyway, so because I'm doing this in a different weight yarn and a bigger needle, it is coming out. I haven't really like measured it. I don't know if there are measurements. I haven't looked to see if there are measurements like at each stage. So it does call for 12 millimeter safety eyes. I do have 12 millimeter safety eyes, but when I put them in, I did not like the way that they looked. So I had to order some, which was one thing. Then I found them on Joann for like pickup, and I also needed embroidery thread, which I wasn't gonna do, but since I had to get safety eyes anyway, I got the embroidery thread for the nose, and I got more stuff, more fiber fill. So they filled my order and then said that they don't have the safety eyes. So I'm like, well, I would have just ordered thread. If I was going to order everything from Amazon, I would have just ordered, you know, if I was going to order safety eyes from Amazon, I would have just ordered the thread from Amazon too, but they already filled it. So anyway, I got the thread, and then I had to get overnight. I didn't like pay extra for overnight. They had next day delivery. So anyways, I got 15 millimeter eyes. So the reason why I'm also not extremely concerned about the safety eyes is because, first of all, they're super tight in there. So this is what they'll look like. They'll look much better. But you also, in order to make like a kind of like an indented eye to make it look a little bit more realistic, you actually tie thread, before securing the back, you tie thread around each eye, and you pull it through, you cross them and pull it through the back of the head. I will try to get myself doing this on video, and then you put the back, then you secure the back on it. So I'm thinking that will make them even more secure, so probably will not come out. The other thing is too, is like when a baby is a baby, they are still like rooting and stuff with their mouth, but they're not like pulling things until they get a little bit older. And so I'm hoping that once that happens, this will be more of like not something that they play with unsupervised. So anyway, that's where I'm at. So this was on hold for a couple of days while I waited for the safety eyes to come in, and now I'm ready to proceed. guys, so we are going to take a trip into my Joann. I have to get ribbon to tie some bows around these gifts that I've been making, and we're gonna see what Joann looks like at my local Joann. Okay guys, my Joann is okay for now. Look like there's plenty of yarn. The ribbons looked sold out though, but they had what I needed. So, you know, honestly, I should have just, whatever. I should have just ordered some, but whatever. So I asked the girl if everybody's been asking about it, and she rolled her eyes and said yes. And I said, are you getting sick of it? And she said yes. Which is kind of like me asking about it. But she's like, we're probably going to be fine. This happens all the time to businesses. And I'm not that worried about it. My Joann is not that great. And, and I don't really buy a lot of yarn, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'll go to Rhinebeck and I'll buy a bunch of yarn, but I buy a lot of knit picks, to be honest with you. Like, if I'm going to buy inexpensive yarn for a specific project, I do end up getting knit picks a lot. And I don't mind Michaels. I know there are some people who don't love the yarn selection at Michaels, but I don't really mind it. So I'm honestly not that worried about it. But I know other people are very worried about it. So anyway, I got my ribbon. That's the whole point of this whole thing, is I got my ribbon. So it's going to go around the bunny that I made and the blanket for the wedding that I made. And I just got like a cream color. Does this even have like, it doesn't even have like a color on it. Weird. But that's it. All right. you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I am excited to send this baby off to my friend's baby.